how's it going? Just a little bored here during quarantine and figured I'd do a review. So we're going to do an unboxing and review of a Warhammer 40k beginning starters painter set and tool set. So we're going to open this up, we're going to see how it is, and from there we'll get cracking open with some models. Okay, so you can see I have the box here. Now the box is pretty cool. Has a nice little graphic with a looks like a bad guy over here, and then it looks like a good guy over here. But it also gives you a pretty basic display of what comes in it, and we can see that there's a bunch of paints and some beginning starters and tool sets. So let's go ahead and let's just take a look. So they have a bunch of different colors here that range from all the different lists of names for each particular paint. They say that there are different ones, so like this one right here says technical, this one says base. So there are different purposes for each individual paint and not just a special name for like the different shade, like for the black or for the steels or any other type of metal or flat colored color. So let's go ahead and let's get this open, and let's go ahead and let's see what we find on the inside. So far, I'm noticing a bit of plastic, so that's not bad. And oh wow, look at that. How amazing is that? It actually comes in almost like a pre-made palette type of a tool set. That's pretty convenient. That's actually not bad at all. Wow, I'm thoroughly impressed. So okay, so we got the brush here, and from what the box says, this is the Citadel starter brush. So it doesn't look that bad. It has an okay tip. It seems to be pretty fine. It doesn't look like it can do a lot of finer detail work, but it definitely does look like it can do some good shading and potentially some good effects, or even some good terrain building with some of the texture paints if you're really into the Citadels type stuff. So that's not bad. I like that. That isn't bad at all. They have a pair of cutters or trimmers or nippers, and these actually don't look bad either. So let's just take a look. Ah, wow. They even have a little Citadel brand right there on the top as well. That's pretty cool. Now they look fairly clean, and they're almost like a needle nose point. But when compared to other types of cutters or trimmers, these actually give me the impression that they're a little sturdier, so they might be able to cut thicker mediums or thicker widths of plastic. So that's pretty interesting, and that's pretty cool. And then underneath, that's also interesting, they have this little odd-shaped tool or key, as it might look like. But what this actually is it's a filer. So, for example, if you wanted to take one of the parts on this particular little part set or part bundle off, it'll come with a little line or a little ridge because it's still connected to the plastic. And sometimes even on different molds, such as this gun here, or on the arm, you might be able to faintly see it right here. There you go. But right here, there's a little thin line created from the molding. It's really hard to see, but it's very faint, and you'll only see it in certain parts. And essentially what you do is you go against the edge. Like, for example, let's say this is the part that's the molded line. You would go ahead and you file or you shave against the area to remove it, so that way it's flat. This basically acts like a sander for your figure or for your model. So that's not bad. That's pretty cool. And then they made it to have a nice, convenient little space right over there in the top part. And the cutters or the nippers just go right into there. And wow, that's actually really nice. I actually like the way this whole thing looks. It looks really amazing. So now let's take a look at the paints that they offer. So we have the earth shade here, which is really nice. They all seem to come in about the size of a thumb. So these particular paints aren't the larger size. They look like they are the standard size. I'm under the impression the more larger ones are essentially about as big as a thumb. So these ones aren't bad. They're pretty decent. This one is Rune Lord Brass. So this is pretty interesting of a shade. It's not bad. And this one's a base. So I'm going to just show these all, and I'm going to sort them as we go, okay? So we've already seen the earth shade, and we've already seen the base. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep going through, and we're going to do base, and we're going to move them all forward depending on what they say for their purpose or their use. So let's continue from the back. The next one we have is, another base, Mac Crag Blue. That is awesome. Okay, so I'm going to put this one back because it actually happens to be a base, and I'm going to move this base of the Rune Lord Brass over here next to the Mac Crag Blue. Now, there we go. Okay, so this one is a technical color, and it's a little hard to see because the whole thing is dark, but it is Astro Granite. So I'm going to move that to the back. Alrighty. Then we have Mephiston Red, which is a very standard primal red. That's pretty cool. We have Retributor Armor, which is actually really nice. It's like a brass goldish color. That looks good. Very appealing and eye-catching. The Lead Belcher, which is like your standard metal or aluminum type look or feel. Looks good. Looks okay. Definitely something I get on an average basis. Okay, we have a really nice yellow. It's like a nice mustard, nice bright sunflower yellow. And this one is also a base. This isn't bad as well. It's pretty nice. Let's keep going. We have another one. This is our Abaddon Black, or Abaddon Black, however you prefer to pronounce it. That looks cool. It's nice, rich, dark tones. Okay, so here, looks like this one needs a little bit of shaking, but it is a glow color, a Tesseract Glow. Ooh. So that is pretty cool. That's a technical color like this other one that has a really dark shade to it, so it's kind of hard to read the literature on there. So I'm going to put these both into the back. I keep going forward. Okay, we got a Corax White. It's a base. Looks like you got to mix it a little bit. Looks like some of the paint separated in there. The actual pigment and then the stuff inside of the pigment that actually sticks or adheres to the model. And then, pretty decent size. Doesn't look that bad. So let's continue. Okay, so we got another base. This is a Bugman's Glow. Bugman's Glow. Doesn't look that bad. It's kind of like a, it's like an off pinkish tone, like an earthy, enriched light red. Very close to like a peach, but not necessarily an orange. So definitely hints of orange in there. That's not bad. That's pretty interesting. And then our last bottle of color. Oh, it's a layer. So we have... Okay, so now we have a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 base colors. So you receive 9 base colors, a layer, which is the Runefang Steel, which isn't bad. That's a very nice light color. Very cool. Not as dark as an iron, but definitely very nice. almost a silverish. And now we have our two technical colors. And then our final one, which was the shade that we started with. And that is the Warhammer 40K Beginner's Paints and Tool Set. Just so that way you can get another look at the actual box and the art that is featured on the box. Alrighty, thanks for watching. And that is it. That is everything for the Warhammer Beginner's Paints and Tools set. So not bad, pretty cool. I believe this retailed at about like $25, $30, give or take. I'm not too sure on the actual pricing. I took the sticker off. But not bad for the overall buy. If you're looking to get into the hobby of Warhammer, or if you're not too sure about what exactly Warhammer is, it's definitely something worth buying because it does give you a nice assortment of paints that you can use for any model. Honestly, their blue is really nice and enriched. I really like the color of it. It's amazing. The red is actually quite nice, and their red is actually bright enough to make a popping appearance with most of their stuff, so it's not bad at all. It's really good. Their basic prime colors, which would be the Mac Crag blue, the Mephiston red, and the Averland Sunset, or the Averland Sunset for their yellow. They aren't bad. So like the three overall prime colors aren't actually that bad. So they actually look pretty good, at least from the bottle. So I'll say overall for this set, I would give it a 4 out of 5. The only thing to me personally as a model like enthusiast or avid hobbyist that I potentially would add in would be like perhaps like a starter tube of glue and a little bit of like a step-by-step tutorial or worksheet that lets you figure out how to go ahead and exactly do some stuff, like some painting and some advanced work, but not like a full-on thing, you know, like a simple flip pamphlet. That would have probably been cool, because overall, inside of the box, it's just the box itself, and then the actual tray that was packaged inside for the box. So overall, not bad. I would give this a 5 out of 5. And like I was saying, even if you're not a Warhammer hobbyist and you're looking to just try different paints, this is really good. I myself have tried several brands. I'm not partial to any particular brand, but these paints are really good. And for their metals, I love them. So when it comes to these, I would say this is definitely a good bang for your buck type thing, considering that each one of these bottles here is like about $4 or $5. So if you just count the paints alone, it ends up matching, if not exceeding, the actual price of the starter set. So it's really good. For what it comes with, it's not bad at all. It's really a good 4 out of 5 for me. It gets 4 out of 5 Mark Lars, in my opinion. And it's just something that's it's definitely something that's required if you're new to the hobby of model building. If you're coming from another hobby like RC cars or RC planes, or even just getting like collectible figures or anything like that, it's literally one of those type of things that it's great to start out with. I personally am partial to these because not a lot of hobbyists will tell you, you might want to get a pair of cutters. So this alone to me is worth what, this seems like a $10-15 purchase at a hobby store. So this alone, plus a couple of bottles of the paint, definitely balances out the price for this starter set. So I might even give it a 4.5 out of 5 Marklars just for that alone, because those pincers or those cutters or those trimmers or those nippers, whichever you prefer to label them as, those are a model builder's asset. Those quite literally are one of the biggest assets, especially next to things like glue. So, with that being said, I want to give this Warhammer box a solid 4 out of 5 Marklars, and, oh, no, excuse me, 4.5 out of 5 Marklars, minus a little bit of literature, just basically saying how to achieve the effect, similar to how they have over here. Just like a simple little open-close book, you know, a nice picture on the front, some literature on the inside. This is how you base, this is how you apply different effects or different looks, and then, you know, like, now that you've started, why don't you go here, or something like that, you know? So I'm going to give this a good 4.5. If you really want to go ahead and, like, ask, it's a solid 4.5. But overall, it's a great 4. It is definitely something you want to get. It's affordable, and I like it. It's not bad. And if you paint all the time and you know what colors you're getting all the time, sometimes it's better to just get one of these and then gift some nippers or a few brushes to some friends or family or whatever. So there's always that as well. Thanks for watching, everybody. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you all are doing good, staying healthy and fit during this quarantine. And I hope to see you all, once it's been lifted, soon.